Hello everybody, welcome to the final race meeting of the 2023 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship from Jarama in Spain. It's a fantastic final race weekend with the beautiful people here from Krona and Trailer Dynamics. I've experienced their amazing e-trailer just this morning on the circuit. It is mind-blowing, the performance of this thing.
It was great that it has worked out. Abdullah is on the road again right now. Very short vote, and indeed I have now heard on the topic of electric trucks everything works. Then it would not fit with the hitching height. Which vehicles would we have available?
Of course, the Dreihliner has certain disadvantages compared to the Megaliner, which means the center of gravity is a bit unfavorable, but nevertheless it's a super nice vehicle. Up until now, we have not actually implemented a Dreihliner in the e-trailers. So far, we've only ever had curtain-siders or cool-liners. So it was not only an innovation in terms of the e-trailer, but also for the whole racing business. The first test drives with the Dreihliner were very exciting. We noticed very quickly on the handling curves that it sways a bit in the curves. Compared to the Megaliner, as we just said, the center of gravity is very, very high. But it was also really, really great that we first did the rehearsals on the handling curves. In Jarama, we followed the concept that we wanted to drive a record lap once fully electric. That is exactly the focus that Trailer Dynamics and we are also pursuing. We have an e-trailer that works with a regular truck with diesel, but at the same time, it can also be used as a range extender for fully electric trucks. It is precisely this diversity of applications that we wanted to show here. This means that we are not only the first ones to have been on a racetrack with an e-trailer, but now we are also the first to have been there with an e-trailer and a fully electric truck. The drive to Jarama was very exciting because I was actually afraid if we will make this distance at all. And so we had planned that we might even drive 1 week before, so before the weekend. But the knowledge we have gained from the previous trips calmed us down a bit, and we left on Monday in the hope that we would arrive on time on Thursday, and we were already there on Tuesday. So fantastic. Jarama is of course also something special for the teams. It's the end of the season. There is still a great deal to be done here, especially in the championship. That means you have a lot of fun here, you have tough duels, and of course we want to be part of that.
The record run was actually a bit of a challenge for us.
We were able to train on Saturday, however, we were unfortunately not allowed on the track because of accidents. That meant to put everything into Sunday. We were able to present ourselves in a great way. Abdullah also drove a super lap on full electric power. The vehicle worked excellently and everything actually worked out just as we had imagined. Very nice. Compared to a diesel vehicle, you have a very important component that is missing in an electric vehicle. The intermediate shifting. Always this rocking and riving, and every time into the next gear on these interruptions. Of course, you notice that on the track. Also here in Jarama, that you can get through much faster and more quickly. The vehicle, so the truck, has a gearbox, and I think first time we noticed it where the gearbox has switched down for the first time when driving uphill. But otherwise, it's always like being on a flying carpet. We started with the idea that we would drive to the Nordschleife. Did you think it would be like this all year? Well, if you think about it, we started in May in Misano. Now we are here in Jarama in September, end of September. On one side, flood, rain, disaster. I thought it couldn't be true, but it was a real adventure. Especially in the beginning, we thought we needed a storyline that would carry us through the whole story, so that there is also drama somewhere. But in the end, there was always a stone in our way, and the storyline just happened. What's also cool is that the teams have grown together. We spend so much time together, so to speak, in good and bad times. We probably won't forget that for the rest of our lives. Even though it's hard for me, that's it for this season. I already have some ideas what we can do next year, so we have to talk about it again in peace. But for this year, we have it for now. It was really cool. Thank you, Abdullah, that you have joined us.